Hey there, explorers! Ever thought about shrinking yourself down? Like ant-sized small? That's what macro photography feels like. We're talking about capturing the world up close, really close. Think dewdrops clinging to a spider web, the intricate patterns on a butterfly's wing, or even the tiny hairs on a strawberry. It's a whole new world waiting to be discovered. Macro photography is like having superpowers. You can see details invisible to the naked eye. It's like opening a door to a secret universe hidden in plain sight. And the best part? Anyone can do it. Whether you're using a fancy camera or your phone, there's a way for you to capture these amazing details. All you need is curiosity and a desire to see the world from a different perspective. So are you ready for an adventure? Let's dive into the fascinating world of macro photography. Now, let's talk 35mm film. Why go old school for macro? Well, it's all about that unique look. Digital is sharp, sure, but film has this smoothness, this soul, you know? Think of it like this. Digital is like a perfectly drawn picture, while film is like a painting. Both are beautiful, but in different ways. Film adds a certain depth and character to macro shots that's hard to replicate digitally. Plus, using 35mm film for macro is like a fun challenge. It makes you slow down, think about your shot, and really appreciate the craft of photography. Okay, getting super close up with 35mm film can be tricky. You're dealing with teeny tiny movements that can blur your shot. And focusing? It's like threading a needle in the dark. But hey, challenges are what make things interesting, right? Here's where the fun begins. To master extreme macro, you'll need to become best friends with some cool tools and techniques. Close-up filters. These screw onto your lens and act like magnifying glasses. Extension tubes. Imagine spacers for your lens, moving it farther from the film for more magnification. Reversing rings. This nifty tool lets you mount your lens backward for even closer focusing. And don't forget about good old-fashioned practice. The more you experiment, the better you'll become at nailing those super close shots. Section 4. Dive in. Tips for macro newbies. Ready to jump into the world of 35mm macro? Awesome! Here are some beginner-friendly tips to get you started. Start simple. Begin with subjects that stay still, like flowers or shells. Once you've got the hang of it, you can move on to trickier subjects like insects. Use a tripod. Remember those tiny movements we talked about? A tripod keeps your camera steady as a rock, preventing blurry photos. Natural light is your friend. Soft, diffused natural light works best for macro photography. Avoid harsh sunlight, as it can create unwanted shadows. Experiment with different films. Different films have different characteristics. Some are sharper, some have more grain. Experiment and find what you like best. Remember, it's all about the journey. Have fun experimenting, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn and grow as a photographer. Section 5. Film versus digital. A macro face-off. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Film versus digital macro. Both have their pros and cons, kind of like choosing between pizza and tacos. Digital is like the instant gratification option. You see your shot right away and you can adjust and shoot again. Plus, you can zoom in super close on your computer screen to check for details. Film, on the other hand, is all about the anticipation. You have to wait for your film to be developed, but that just makes the final reveal even more exciting. And let's not forget about that unique film look, that certain something that digital just can't quite replicate. Ultimately, the best choice depends on your personal preferences and shooting style. It's like choosing your favorite ice cream flavor. It all comes down to what you enjoy most. Section 6. Tiny treasures. The magic of film macro. There's something truly magical about capturing the tiniest details on 35mm film. It's like freezing a moment in time, preserving it in a tangible, almost poetic way. When you hold a film negative up to the light and see those tiny details, it's like holding a secret treasure. And when you finally get that print in your hand, it's like holding a piece of art. So go out there and explore the world up close with your trusty 35mm camera. You never know what hidden wonders you might find.